So today we are going to look into Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations and how to extend tables. Okay, to start with our table extension, first we need to create a development model which we are going to utilize in our demo. So go to Dynamics 365, click on create model, enter your model name. So I'm going to enter it as development demo. Publisher is Kirtan, and I'm going to do the customization in my user layer. So click next, create a new package. So here you will be seeing all the reference packages. So you need to make sure that you select all the correct references over here while creating a new model. So if you don't reference enough model references, then you might end up with error. So you need to make sure that you select all of the required references properly. Okay. So right now I'm just going to select application platform, application suite, application foundation, and calendar, dimensions, fleet management, general ledger, master planning, personal, retail I am not going to select as of now, unit of measurement, tutorials. Tutorials comes in handy when you want to actually run certain tutorial packages and do some sort of testing. So now I'm going to select this, and you can select make this my default model for the new projects. I'm going to unmark this because I'm not going to do this settings for my current development environment. And now I'm going to select create new project. So once you do this, Visual Studio will create a new project. So new window will pop up, and it will be a new project for you to start with. So now it has opened a new window for a new project. So I'm going to name the project as demo development, create a directory for the solution, check mark this. If you want to add it to source control, you can select this, but if you haven't set up your DevOps or version control, so no point of selecting this. Just click on create directory for the solution and then click OK. So create directory for the solution will make sure that there is a separate folder in your project path. So as of now, you can see that my project is created and it is with the user layer and development demo model. So why this is needed? Wherever you create an extension of the object would be created in a model. So for example, if I am extending a table, the extension would be residing under a particular model. So the extension name, it will take up from the current model, whichever you have set up in the development right now. I'll show you the example. So I'll go to data model, tables, and let's say I want to extend sales table. So it's one of the most common table which is mainly customized. So you can see right now I have sales table and it is under application suite. So I'll right click it and I'll click on create extension. So here you can see an extension is created with the sales table dot development demo. So dot development demo is my model name. So if you click on this and click on open, now you will be seeing all the fields available. So now I'm going to add a new field. So I'll just right click and add a new field over here. So my new field is for a sales table. Let's say I want VAT number. I suppose it would be available for you. I'm just adding it as an example. VAT number, and here I can specify my label. So there are multiple properties attached to a table. So you need to make sure that you understand all those properties correctly. So based on your requirement, you would be utilizing all those properties on a table level. So I'm searching for the VAT number label. Let's see if we can find anything. So right now my match criteria is match text. So yeah, there is a label. So instead of creating a new label, I can just utilize the same label for my new field. So now my extended data type. So this is another property which we need to set up. So this is the EDT type. So my field is a string, but there are certain EDTs which are attached to which I can attach to this field. So it will help me in maintaining the standard VAT number format across all the tables. So for example, so for that I would add a new EDT over here. I'll click on add new item, and here I'll select EDT string, and I would name it as VAT number. So it's a standard practice. It's a best practice actually to have a naming convention of all the newly added objects. So right now I am adding a new EDT with VAT number. So I would actually prefix it with KD. So KD stands for Kirtan Dave. So KD underscore VAT number. So at least I will know which objects are created by me under this model. So let's wait. It is adding the object in our project. So now as we have this, I can actually set up what would be my text label, what would be my label, what would be the size of my this field. So right now I'm going to set it up as 25, and label, I'm going to utilize this label. Instead of applying over here, I'm going to apply it on a EDT level. So if I apply it on a EDT level and associate this EDT to my new field, the label will flow directly. So over here, I'm going to, so after this, I'll save this EDT. And I'm going to utilize this EDT in my field. Okay, so now this new field is added. So this is a way to add a new field to a standard table. Now another thing you might have to customize is adding a new method. So as you can see, if I expand the method menu and right click, I'm not able to create a new method under it. So for that, we need to create a final extension class. So which would, and there we need to add our new method. To have that sort of customization, we need to go to add new element, create class. Now my class would be sales table underscore extension, sales table underscore extension add. So this class will also be added under my model. So in my current project is associated with a particular model. So all the objects which I am going to add are going to be created under this particular model. So now I need to specify final keyword in front of this class. This specifies that this is a class which is going to be utilized as an extension for methods for this particular table. To specify that, we need to write extension of, and here we specify which object. So there is a method called table str. So our first parameter for extension of is string. So that's why I am specifying table str. So whichever table object I am going to specify, the string would be passed on to this extension. So table str sales table. Okay, and now I can create a new method, public. So by default we have a find method. So I'm going to public rack public sales table. So my return type is sales table. Find based on, I want to find record based on my VAT number. Find VAT. So kd underscore VAT number is my data type. So my variable is VAT number, true, false. So update, there is another parameter for the find. I just forgot that find. Let me see what is other parameter for the find method. So it is sorry, I just remember, it is boolean. Boolean is either it is passed for whether you want to update the table or not while doing a find. So boolean update. Now this table so I'm creating the object of my table, and now I'm going to utilize this VAT number. So if update, so if update is true, then we need to select the query in update mode. If the update is false, we need to select the query in non-update mode. So TTS begin. So you need to specify TTS begin every time whenever you are doing a update operation. TTS commit or okay. Just to confirm, I'll go to this and I'll search a find method. So this is my find. So here you can see for update is a boolean, and by default they are passing it as false, and based on that we are specifying whether to select for update or not. So I'm going to utilize the same thing. So by default, if nothing is specified, so if you don't specify this equals to false, so you cannot keep this parameter blank whenever you are calling this method. So you need to make sure that you by default you specify one value, so that if you don't want to specify this value, there will be no error while you do the compilation. Then This is a smarter way to select for update. If it is true, I'll just call the method sys table. Okay, so sys table dot select for update. Just copy from here. For update false. Okay, and I'll do select. So here I'm going to utilize the same code, select first only, but instead of my sales ID I'm going to utilize dot VAT number. So this is the one which we have added. So there is already a standard field available. Select for update. So now we don't need this condition, we can just specify like this and return sys table object. Okay, so now to call this I can click on new item. So what we have done is we have added a new field and a new method. Now we are going to check whether it is running or not. So to check that, we are going to utilize runnable class. So runnable class is actually a job. In previous version it was called as job. So these are independent objects, so you don't need to deploy them every time if you want to do a testing of your code. So you can just write your code or logic and run this job, and more or less it will give you exact behavior what you will see in a standard code. So demo table extension. And sys table. So I'm going to create an object for sales table, sales table demo. Now I'm going to call my find method based on VAT number. So find I think something is missing. Yeah, I did not add static ahead of my find method. Okay, now if I do this, find VAT, and now here I can specify my VAT number. It is test, and it will return based on if there is any record. We have added our new field as well just to check whether it is available. So I'll just go to this sales table dot VAT number. So that field is also available. So this is how you can actually extend your table, standard table, add a new method and add a new field. I hope this helps you in customizing Dynamics 365. See you next time.